Lando. Appreciate the time, man. Welcome back. It's your first fight since the pandemic struck and all the craziness happened. So, how did you hold up during that thing, and how are you feeling coming into this fight, man?
I've been doing pretty good, man. Thankfully, I built a nice little garage gym, literally right before the pandemic started. So I had a nice little space to train and get all my workouts in, and a small team to be around and train with them. And I've been holding up well. I'm doing really well.
That's great. And we've only known about this fight for a little more than a week. How long have you known about it? Did you guys have a full camp, and this just never the news never came out, or?
I mean, I've been training hard for like the last 12 weeks, but they offered me a fight about 3 weeks ago. Two opponents fell through, and Bobby was the third person. And they said, let's run it back. So here we are.
And how excited were you for that? I mean, obviously, a lot of times when draws happen, fighters say, "Oh, we want a rematch," and it doesn't really come to fruition. People go their different ways, but you guys are going to have the opportunity to, like you said, run it back.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to setting a few things straight. I'm very excited.
And what do you remember about that first fight? Going to the judges' scorecards, were you pretty confident that you won when you think back in your head? Should you have won that
No,
night?
no. Actually, it's so hard to judge when you're in there fighting. It's so hard to know what the scorecards are going to be. And I actually thought I lost the fight when I was in it. It was when I went back and watched the fight that I was like, I thought I clearly won it. Yeah. So during it, I thought I lost, but after watching, 100% thought I won.
Yeah, man. And when you go back and watch a fight, like that fight was what, like 2 years ago or something, or around 2 years ago. Yeah. So how much can you weigh into something like that? How much do you read into the first matchup? Do you feel like you guys have changed a lot in between then and now, or are you expecting a lot of the same things out of Bobby?
I feel like he's got a very similar style than when the first time we fought. He does some things he does differently. Some things he's added a new little few layers to his game. But I think all in all, he's more or less the same. I think I've changed numerous times since then. If you watch and go through all my fights, like every single fight, I kind of fight a little bit differently depending on who the opponent is, and I feel like I've grown heaps and bounds, and I'm really looking forward to putting it on display.
For sure. And I guess last question for me, how do you get it done when you play it out in your head? Any type of prediction for this one?
Mm, nah, man, could be anything.
Cool. Appreciate the time, Lando. Thanks, man.
Next question is from Jay Anderson with Gateside Press.
Thanks very much. And just to build on that, I mean, I know you said it could be anyway, but with the point deducted in the first fight and feeling as though you won it upon review, I mean, is it more motivation to go ahead and look for that finish?
Mm, no, not really. I don't want to get like caught up in trying to finish a guy and then end up over. I'm not trying to force anything. I don't want to force anything. I'll go out there and just fight my fight.
Gotcha. Now, I mean, since your debut, you've been fighting some of the best lightweights out there, and I think you had four performance bonuses in your first four fights.
Yeah.
I think, if anything, maybe you've struggled to find consistency, not in effort, but in outcome. You've got a chance for your first win streak here, so what's the key to getting that?
Just doing me, man. If I go out there and I just fight my fight and I just relax and let go and get out of my head and into my body, everything else comes from that. When I do that, I put on beautiful performances.
And obviously, we've seen a lot of the empty arena so far. This will be your first time competing in that setting. What are you expecting that to be like?
I'm not really stressed about it or anything. I think it's gonna be pretty exciting. I fought in prior to the UFC, I fought in very small arenas. I fought in nearly empty shows. I fought in rec centers. Like it's gonna be just like that.
All right, well, good to see you back. Well, looking forward to it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Next question is from Ezekiel Bergonzi with Super Luchas.
Lando, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Fine, thank you. Can you tell us about your training camp in these specific circumstances with the coronavirus? Which are the main differences between this training camp and the one you had in your last fight in the beginning of the year?
I said the biggest differences is we did less team training and more individual training. That's the main thing. So normally we'd be in the gym together 5 nights a week, and we've been able to grapple, spar, wrestle, whatever it is. This time we got in the gym together, me and a couple teammates and coaches, maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and then the rest was I did on my own. I would run, I would do my strength and conditioning on my own. I would get a lot of heavy bag work in, work with the grappling dummies. I did a lot more solo work, which I actually enjoy a lot because it gives me to step back from competing, and it gives me an opportunity to explore more creativity.
And you are going to fight an opponent that you already faced. So the keys for your victory are the same for you that you had in your last fight. That the strategy remains the same, or are you focused on other aspects of Bobby, style?
Um, I would say there are correlations between the first strategy and this one, but there's we're building upon that, but also have to take into account the changes that Bobby has made in his style and the way that he fights in the past few fights that he's had. So I would say similar, but not the same.
And my last question is, you're personally, you are one of the most exciting fighters in lightweight division, and you face a lot of big names like Tony and others. So, do you want to face one opponent in particular in all this division that is very stacked, and and it probably will be moving on after the Khabib and Gaethje fight? Do you have a dream match in this division, or you are looking for like the opponent UFC puts you in front? Like it doesn't matter. What do you think?
I mean, I guess that depends. Like a realistic dream matchup, like something that might happen in the next couple fights. Not really, but do I have a dream matchup? Absolutely. I would love. I think everybody would. I would love to fight Khabib. Like that dude is the man, and to be able to test yourself against somebody that is on that level, I think that's a dream of any fighter.